Mundfish's Atomic Heart is a currently unfinished mess that is populating Xbox Game Pass. And mind you, not as some early access title, more like something that is going to siphon off your internet bandwidth. With a 70 plus gigabyte pre-install, followed by a day one 65 gigabyte patch, and then a few days later, let's give a 15 gigabytes. Making gaming a living hell for those of you like myself who have restricted bandwidth. Yeah, I know the real enemy here is Cox Communications, but this rash of unfinished games pushed out to meet their due dates is striking me as something that needs government oversight. But as I think about it, maybe it's just on brand for the Soviet-Russian theme of this game. But before we get into it, I want to give a quick mention to my buddies, ANDAR.com. Look at these beautiful cord burritos in stone gray. You need some cord burritos? Yeah, you do. Use my promo code FRY20, save 20% at checkout. So Atomic Heart puts you in the role of Major, I can't pronounce his name, so we're calling him P3. Why? I'm going to assume it's kind of like Triple H. Like, it's just abbreviated. He has 3 P's in his name. I guess it doesn't really make sense. But Vaughn, you're saying that you didn't finish the game? Oh, I didn't finish it. We'll get into why. And if you want to complain, oh, well, this isn't a review, it's a first impression. No, I did the first impressions on this channel already. So we're in an alternate timeline here. Soviet Russia has prospered greatly after World War II. They have advanced tech. You know this because the first 30 minutes of the game is an on-rail introduction, showing you the use of not plasmids. That's right, guys, Atomic Heart is a BioShock clone. I mean, come on, it's a robotic utopia, floating cities, retro cartoons. And this isn't a slam of Atomic Heart because, think about it, we don't have an official BioShock. We may as well have something to fill the role this generation. Powered by the Unreal Engine, this game looks really damn good on the Series X. There are some times where there's some slowdown in the distance, but it looks like a lot of thought and care was put into creating the setting of this game, which was then sabotaged by the writing. Visually, Atomic Heart looks like a game trying to take itself seriously. A love letter to BioShock, but the writing staff and performances seem to suggest spoof. Your benevolent father figure sends you on some mission to stop this guy Petrov. Of course, since this guy has no bad attributes, I'm assuming it's all a facade and he is actually the big bad by the end of the game. Giantess twin sex bots give you keys to a car that you don't drive. Instead, you are airlifted to Facility 3826, where, oh no, robots have turned. And from this point forward, your protagonist will complain about everything and wink and nod at the camera, breaking the fourth wall.
Who designed this thing, the Spanish Inquisition?
Survivors I encountered also seem to be taking the robot apocalypse in stride. It's my understanding you can alleviate all of this torture by switching to Russian language, but then, you know, I'd have to read the tiny subtitles. Okay, look, if we're gonna port something to a console, can we up the font size? This is insane. Because Atomic Heart will have you inching your lazy boy closer to the set more than any game I've played. I am disappointed that my cousin, okay, he's like second, we shared, our grandmas were cousins, but Jensen, he was in the video they put out, you know, kind of making fun of Hogwarts Legacy, your fake magic. We have melee weapons. You have melee weapons, but you're going to have to rely on some other stuff too. Because, and I played on the hardest available difficulty from the start as I'm an actual adult, every enemy is a bullet sponge, or in this case, an axe absorbent. If you're going to build your system around melee needs to be really damn fun and not tedious. You don't have a block, you seem to take damage when dodging. Oh, but Vaughn, you have a skill tree. Yes, you have a pervert vending machine that you can use to increase your stats, build your weapons. Exactly how much overlapping dialogue did I trigger?
The facility is full of all kinds of junk.
It is indeed, Comrade Major.
I'll keep an eye out then.
I can't wait for your strong hands to grow my interface. Can upgrade weapons and...
As of the present, robot mobs seem to pre-spawn in place for like a flash frame and then fall from the sky. Like, it's weird. And really, I would suggest actually playing this on the easiest difficulty, you know, making it so you're nigh invincible, and you can thwart cheap moves by the AI, which seems to hit you from just about anywhere. Of course, with the fringe benefit of drastically reducing combat time. When P3 isn't busy quipping, he also has to open doors that have locks on them, convoluted mess. I have heard people complain about Alien Isolation having mini-games in the door locks. How about mini-games that you can fail, and fail frequently, which don't have any in-universe need other than making a game of a game? But Atomic Heart doesn't stop there. They managed to gamify stealth attacks. Now you really have to spam B on your Xbox controller as if you're hitting boost in Final Fantasy VIII. Could be the first time I actually went out of my way to not sneak up on foes, because if this goes wrong, you're going to be confronted by a long loading screen by Series X standards, which means if this game was even possible to play on an Xbox One, you could probably die and have 2 minutes of load time. Your safe room and autosaves are fairly generous at times, but if you're playing on the high difficulties, this can all be thrown out the door because one good punch from a bot could kill you. Hell, even curious fall damage could end your ass, resulting in a loading time long enough for you to go take a piss. In my roughly 3 hours that I devoted to Atomic Heart, I did mostly of what one expects in such a game. You have an AI glove named Charles, you call him Charles. At least he gives you waypoints, but you also have to do a lot of looting, and the looting mechanic in this makes it easy for you to overlook something. Yeah, I know it's a function of the genre, but give me Halo Combat Evolved over this sort of stuff any day. Just put the gun in my hand and let me go to work. I don't want to have to go searching for all the available scrap currency bullshit collectibles. And also symptomatic of the genre, it seems as though once you get powerful enough, it's not much of a challenge. Again, Halo Combat Evolved, you advance on skill and skill alone, but in these sort of games, you kind of get abilities that allow you to withstand the onslaught, and weapons that allow you to turn the tide. Shortly after encountering the mutants that take over the bodies of fallen comrades, I suffered a cheap death resulting in screen-locking loading limbo, which is a perfectly fine stopping place for this review because I'm not investing a terabyte into playing Atomic Heart. Being a completionist, I'm going to have to get back to this, but I will do so when it is finished. I give Atomic Heart a 5.5 out of 10.
You just watched a video from my son. He's about 40 and lives in my basement, ladies. So subscribe her and notify the bell for ringing.
Okay, I said what you wanted me to say. Now do the goddamn dishes.